Craig Richards. He faces, for the first time,
stepping up from British. Put in a bit of a performance tonight. You talked about this guy. Bivol was getting booed by, but it's certainly made
It's what we have to expect from Richards. Back foot, he's moving, trying to close the distance here. We
flash opportunity to land it, and he lands it with such pressures on the front foot. Defends coming forward a few rounds.
They've certainly as well. He said, you look at Bivol, he uses that with a counter of his own.
The front foot makes them look like they're doing so much work with the feet. And when you're on when you're on the resistance and trying to keep out the way of the fight,
he's probably trying to set up the right hand that he'll sit down on at some position, and he's in range. He will get caught.
A little bit slow and a little bit low.
It's a jab, the waistband, his own waistband. It's a jab down, and it just put. As Chris has just mentioned, there, very good. Tee it up, he'll set you up a couple, and then bang, the right hand will come over the top.
So too did Bivol. Effectively here in this set. Jab there of a
Stop Bivol in his tracks a little bit from once. Give Bivol some.
Bivol. Oh, that talked about the mistakes he makes, but he won't get away with here. He just got away with one there. Oh my goodness me, he walked into that. You hear Peter Sims just said Richards is looking for the right hand over the top there. Bivol, who is down in this second round.
He's at the moment for Bivol, he's not really being, but the shots are not necessarily power.
With that power, it gives them the extra time that they need to go to can throw. He's pausing and hesitating now. He needs to get to work.
Yeah, it was a good last round for Dmitry Bivol. He's really, as you say, he's already realising, hang on, I'm running. That's what Spider Richards is trying.
Has to keep that jab going. Extend lunges, what he does. Catch him as he's coming in, but just backing off and circling and delaying the inevitable for me.
Brings the right hand into play there, Richards, and we haven't seen much hold him off with a left hook.
Much as he is well set for that full counter right hand, just how many opportunities.
Fight at, you still need to dangle a few jabs out there to so clever, Bivol.
Again there.
Good shot.
Was better. Now that was better when he gotchas, but Bivol is straight back on him and pushes him back up to the ropes. That's really good response from the champion. His fire here in round 3. Richards to build any momentum off that. Put him straight back in his place.
4, 6 foot mark, and he's doing so well with the success that he's having.
Short and getting picked up. Consistently effective with it. It's easier said against a strong defence.
Bivol, he can just completely walking through him at this stage, still just taking it, just pull, comes straight back at you, and he often counters in danger. Every shot that he accurate.
Good jab there from Bivol.
Yeah,
you notice as well, Chris, non-punches, and for the technical nowadays, they're a puncher's glove. There's not much he's finding the area. He has the assets to him to make the jab more dominant. I'd like to see Richards said he's blocking with high hands, he's blocking with tight guard and strong arms, and the body of Bivol.
Fourth round.
Now the more important part, these middle shape don't come up too high. You've got to keep your composure now.
Bivol, but the front foot he applies, the way he just changes the level.
Dmitry Bivol defending his WBA like he is. London was too good in Manchester in 1964.
You mentioned one of the best jabs I've ever seen, and this is what in this fight for both fighters. I'd like to see him become. It's a good tool. It's a good weapon. Bivol, I haven't seen him throwing it.
He did mix it up nicely. The jabs, keep the distance, and see if you can pick him off. At the moment, Bivol is handling that jab.
Moments ago, we can see it here because Bivol inches his front foot into, and that just magnifies the impact of and it as well. I think with wary of dropping into range and just walking straight onto a right hand because Bivol throws whoever. It's better though from Richards.
Good shot from Richards, but comfortable for Bivol at the moment. You have to go for it. You have to leave it in the ring. Backing Bivol up really well. It landed, and he landed the
5 rounds here. You know, Richards starts changing things up.
With Joe Smith Jr., where if he can land one of those right hands clear and he has enough time left in the round, that with the discipline of Dmitry Bivol.
The judges are seeing them very wide indeed, and it's tough to make a case of the 6th round. It's a 4. It's there from Bivol.
First round, he's got Richards before he has to start throwing that shot because coming onto that right hand pair. Sometimes you need to tire them out and break them.
You throw the more the element of surprise, catch to take advantage. But at the moment, Heavily, he's still got his reflexes about him, and his jab's still working pretty. And as you say, Paul, Bivol just patient and all the while just breaking him up and winning the majority of each round.
Right hand there, and it didn't land.
Beautiful game, but it's brutal sometimes, and it's ready until it's there. Don't give him a taste of it.
He had the last word there, Richards. But certainly got through with the second to first there, but did take one back as well.
The nice pull counter right hand though before that.
There's a couple of rounds, you've got it in your artillery.
That left to throw your own back, and Paul, I know one thing that Gallagher teaches you.
Be in a position to let that shot go yourself, and then the speed that is needed, it's going to work. This is your world title shot, so them type of shots and that type of...
Are at the midway point, and as you say, he's not winning this one on points. There's no way. But, you know, as I said, I was talking about being backed up in this fight.
As a single, that's when he's vulnerable to one shot Richards lands, and he is landing some shots clean. 3.
Bivol's also good, again, because of his old game amateur experience. He'll land a jab, he'll knock the head and let the judges admire it, and he'll admire it. And it's just... And then a jab, reverse 1-2 is what Bivol likes to do. He'll come in, he'll back off straight away.
Bivol here, and that's what does carry some spite in both. I've never got the impression that Dmitry Bivol is one of those guys that wants the height, and if he can get it just...
When you go for it, you can't just wait and let Bivol dictate. It's done for the previous 7 rounds.
Have a really good group of British light rolling under at the moment. Anthony Yard and Callum Johnson coming up.
Criticism when this fight was made that performed as good as any of the last 4. Bivol is certainly more competitive than Viliata Viterbiev. We don't know which one. And Richards is boxing well too, that he lands. Bivol is land for, and he's being the aggressor, and he's dictating he is now, and that's been the difference.
Has had some success. Bivol is straight.
Richards land.
Here and force Bivol back. See if that changes things up a little bit. Hasn't been completely out of his depth.
Well, look at it, and again, it's not Richards. I just think he'll criticise himself when he watches it well in the performance, but I know you're probably been his best round, in my opinion, so...
Well, at some point, Craig Richards...
He's in now, Richards, holding his foot, no more circling around.
Yeah, you can hear Peters immediately. The right hand
of distance and the weight range.
He's keeping the centre in the 4, Richards. It's a good little spell from Bivol.
There's a lot. Neither of them have really tested that from Bivol there, but mainly they both headhunted. Stiff jab there again from the champion.
For them mistakes at the top level.
Bivol well ahead on the cards, you would think, against Craig.
And technically he was far better than Buglioni on. He just completely ran out of steam, but in the last he's really filled out into the weight. His punch resistance has looked infinite.
Put his foot down here, roll the dice, right hand counter comes in, responds as he does so well and puts Richards back in his place. That's why he's an unbeaten champion. Well, Richards landed the solid shot downstairs.
It's been neglected all night for me.
Maybe find the leveler here, but you know, assuming he ends up losing this, Richards, he'll learn so much. Counter then from Bivol. It's a sense of urgency now, pressing forward. There goes for the...
Yeah.
Bivol's expecting a jab every way, the right hand. Just start leading.
Jack and Pitters and button the right.
Yeah, Bivol looking to finish the round strongly. The eye of the judges, it has been a bet. Has had his success as well. He's never had an opponent to take him out of that fight. But can Richards put together power to 5.5 minutes that remain in this?
Peter Sims, you know, I'd like to see Richards just target the body. The elbows up high every time Richards...
Dropped the right hand, he heard Peter Sims say, drop blocking that jab.
Bivol comfortable, he's not that expect to see a bit more of. He's comfortable because he's not expected to think about straight away he broke.
Yeah,
good right.
Left, it got through.
Of Richards, I'm just saying, he'll watch this back, and if he does feel he could have did more early on, a bit more success.
It's been such a big step up for it.
His performance, the last 3 rounds for Richards have been brilliant for him. Not showing too much respect to Bivol, which he was guilty of doing early on.
Well, he neglected. Again, the flashy finish in the last few seconds. 1 round left then. Dmitry Bivol putting his Dutchins from Crystal Palace in South London, taking this huge step on the floor here in the time that remains. Because at the midway point of this fight, Bivol case for Dmitry Bivol. Enough rounds in the bank.
Ethical work rate from him.
but he doesn't need the urgency, Paul.
No.
It's Richards that needs the urgency.
It tells you what he thinks about the fight, Bivol. It tells you that in the start, the first and the middle.
Closer to the final bell, that's Richards. Bivol does take, say, no urgency at all. He's just tucking. Trying to land that left hook. Never landed a really significant power. Has really put on a performance defensively.
Levels in boxing, as we always say, as a lot. Craig Richards tonight has proved that he can mix it, competing at in future, in the past, sorry.
Well, Richards. And that'll do it.
Your winner by still.
Bivol's got it.
WBA light heavyweight
One had it
champion.
wide. If only we'd got things going 3 or 4 rounds.